What's psychology? Let's get to understand scientific study of the mind. So your ability to be able to understand how your mind works, it's what keeps you profitable in the first. Risk man. I don't have a problem with you getting a strategy that is good, but the concern is, have you had a good strategy? Good, you leave it up running in losses for some days, or how do you react to your losses? How do you react to it whenever it plays out? But if you don't have a good trading psychology, you're losing money at the end of the day. You're going to be losing money. The mind actually processes and works over some time. Now, the generate up to its feelings, where you begin to picture something that is not real, where you begin to picture things that are not real, that where you begin to see setups that are not there. Excuse me. So you want to be able to jump into the chart and begin to like, whoa, this thing is going to fall, and you're wrong, because why? You only what having feelings, your emotion got have the better part of you. Now the next one, when it moves from feelings, that is when it gets to decision. That's when you are like, if this thing happens, like if this thing see fall more than this, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get involved in this chat, and you're making a decision based off of your feelings, based off of your feelings, not what you're seeing. And that's wrong. That's wrong. And now the next one here is after you move from the decision stage, it moves to the final stage, which is execution. Action stage, execution. Now that's when you look for what, you want to get involved in the chart, and you just see yourself making losses at the end of the day. Why does it happen like that? It happened like that because you were the whole problem. It started from the beginning, from the root. When it's the best time to enter the street, or you're going to miss out. That is actually to what, trick you, just to trick you and just make you lose money. That's the best time to stay away. This is where psychology comes in play. I was a victim of that. Like when I was studying newly, I entered the mind that, whoa, I'm looking losses now, up to 20 pips. What? That's crazy, because I actually didn't know that what was happening was I never had my psychology in place. I never had my psychology in place. So that was what was happening to me. So I was thinking it was kind of like a problem for me. So that was one aspect of it. That was one aspect of it. So psychology is actually far. It's actually a long journey, because psychology is something your emotions is something you can't put away forever. But there's a good news, and the good news is you can actually put it on check. You can actually put it on check. So what you want to be doing is you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, we don't trade the market on feelings. No, you're gonna be losing money at the end of the day. If you allow the emotions get the better part of you, you'll be like opening your trade, monitoring it, entering out, you're going in, you're going out. Whoa, you'll be losing money, and you at the end of the day, your head start aching you, and you start having problems, because why? All what you're doing is based off of your feelings, and you know feelings, they are not real most times. They're just there to what, trick you. They're just there. This is what guys do this. I want to do this when I see this happen. You have from and not blame the market. You know, one of the things you have to do, you have to understand that you're wrong. You might be wrong in the market. Yeah, your analysis might be wrong, but guess what? The good news is that your rules cannot be wrong, because why? If you follow them suit, that's the one thing that is showing. I started disciplining myself, and I found out that, oh, this thing was working. Because why? I was following my trading rules. That some of the day I come into the chat, and at the end of the day I don't make money. I don't see a setup. I wouldn't trade. I just close happily. At the end of the day, I'm happy with myself, because why? I was able to do what I told myself to do. So you have you to succeed in the market. I'll say this again. You have you to succeed in the market. You don't actually need the market. The market is not the problem. The market is you. The problem is you. Okay? The market asks you if you're going to buy at a certain rate, or if you're going to sell at a certain rate, certain price rate. So if you're not cool with it, as far as your risk management, you are going to be avoiding the chart. If that's one of your rules, you have to stick to it. When I was starting, I was like, I'm going to be having 10 pips stop loss. If it's more than that, oh, I'm not involved in that chart. I don't care if the market will, because why? This thing is actually against my rule, and my rule states that I'm not going to be risking above 10 pips. So, and guess what? The market actually came back and gave me a risk that was 7 pips. No, not even 7 pips, so just 5 pips. And I entered and I moved up of 3 times of my risk. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. It's nice because why? I was so happy that day, the first day I started the role trading strategy. I was so happy because why? I was able to see myself become disciplined and follow suit. Okay, so I was excited. I was happy. Okay, I was cool with it. So next one is you want to believe in it. You want to believe in your trading strategy. That's another one. I see some folks get involved in the chat like this thing is gonna fall and you just enter the market without doing any proper analysis. That's wrong. I'm not a fan of it. If you have a strategy and you know what works for you, you want to go for it. So if you want to understand what strategy is about, trading strategy is all about, you can leave a message for us there in the comment section. I will give attention to it immediately I see it. Okay, I'll give attention to it immediately I see it. And so I'm going to be saying this. I'll keep saying it. The only thing that works in the market is that strategy. That strategy, you're going to be paying for it. If you want to go against the strategy, we're going to be paying for it because why? You don't actually want the market to go against you based off of what you're doing. You want to stick to your strategy and make sure everything is fine. Okay, you want to make sure everything is fine. You want to make sure that everything is working out perfectly good. Like my own strategy gives me about 80% win rate if I'm able to stick to it through thick and thin, everything. So it gave me win rate of 80%. So I stick to it and make sure that I'm getting out in that trade, in that setup, everything is falling in place. So okay, let me just quickly say this. For those folks that easily get involved in the chat and just enter the market just like that, I'll say wait for the market to come to you. Wait for price to come to you. Yeah, I'll say that. Now wait for price to come to you. What I mean is, if you're trading at 30 minutes like I trade, I would say stay in your 30 minutes. Yeah, stay in your 30 minutes because why? The market will come to you and will give you a risk. If you're not cool with it, don't risk. But if you're fine with it, of course you can risk. Why? There's you have need you to believe in you. Okay, so that's another part of it. So you want to stay glued. You want to stay glued to what you want to do. You want to stay fat line is mine. It's my own strategy, but this other strategy. So fixed source of income. Yeah, I'm in support, 100% in support of it. Now, what I mean by this is, you want to have something you're doing, not just forex trading. It sounds funny, right? But that's the truth. You want to have something doing, not just forex trading. Now, you're going to be after the money because you don't want to close the day. You want to stick there and wait for the market. You have to chase after your strategy. Okay, so I will advise you go get a knowledge. Like I'll keep saying this. If that's the only thing you get out from this video, I'm cool with it. Now, you've been able to learn forex trading, the knowledge part of it, and you're a beginner. Congrats, bro. Congrats. Congrats. You know what I mean by that? You have something that can work for you. Now, all you have to do is package what you have, that knowledge that you've gotten, package it into an ebook, and you want to be selling it out. Organize trainings for people as a beginner, and get people involved in it and start training people based on what you know, not what you don't know. I wouldn't say don't do what you don't know, okay? Because it's always difficult doing what you don't know because you can't defend it. So stay close to it. Package what you have, package what you know, and actually sell it to the whole house. Sell it to as many that are willing to buy from you. Okay, you're going to be making money on it. And one of the things I recommend there and you get involved. If you want to know more about that, I don't have any problem with it. I will drop a link in the section below. That's it. Now that's another one. There are other things you can do at the end of the day. There are other things you can do. You can just decide to be a trainer, and maybe you are into like how would I put it? You're into stuff like selling things on Okay, once you lose money, you have something to fall back to. You're not losing any dollars though. If you convert it to naira and dollars, it will be about five that will be $1,000 also. Yeah, $1,000. But that's a big money out of it. I was like out of it. So that's it. So the next one you want to be doing, if you perform well in your strategy, your rules, yeah, they mark you good and they tell you very good in that course you did have it in place. So if you in a month, so if I'm able to trade 15 trades and I lost 5, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the month. Okay, so what I do each day I trade, if I make losses and if that losses is bad for that day, I'm cool with it. But guess what? I'm actually checking if I was able to follow my strategy, if I was able to follow my trading rules. That's the most important thing, because why? Trades comes, trades goes, but strategy sticks with you, because that is what you use in making money from the market. So on the long run, you're going to be there in the trade. Okay, you're going to be there in the chart, you're going to be there for a long run. And the next thing I also look at is if I make 18 trades and I lose 2 in a month, I'm cool. So I just look at my strategy and check if I'm following it. So that's the thing I'm concerned, not even the money. If it feels fine, all I have to do is place the star system on it and make sure that what I'm doing, I'm following my strategy over time. So at the end of the month, I'm able to say how many times did I obey my strategy and my trading rules. Then I'll begin to check. So that's it. And the last one here is focusing on the big picture. If you lose in a day, what I used to do then those days is, if I enter a trade and I lose, I look for a way to enter another one. I just keep trying, I keep trying and keep trying. Whoa, that's exhausting. I don't do that these days because I don't do that these days. What I do is I'm just losing money and my psychology is messed up. So that's kind of crazy for me. So I make sure what I'm doing is I stick with what I want. I stick with what I know. I believe in what I know. I believe in me. I believe in my strategy, and that's the only thing that works for me. Because that's what works. Okay. So you want to focus on the big picture. You don't want to focus on the only trade. A trade fails that it doesn't mean the whole month is going to be like that. Now I think I watched a video by a guy. I can't remember his name now. He said you might have a bad day, but not a bad week, and you might have a bad week and not a bad month. Okay, so what that means is, if a trade favor it doesn't mean that whole week. I think March 2023, I actually would recommend that month as one of my worst month ever, because I started trading from the last there, just waiting and hoping to pray that I'll see an opportunity, but it didn't happen that way. So I just like, whoa, what's happening here? But I was just focused on the big picture, and the big picture here was, this thing is gonna it's gonna play. So how you are going to be focusing on the big picture, anyhow you're going to get through it. It's cool, but I would just say, don't allow one trade affect you for the month. You want to stay close to what you know. You want to believe in you. Okay. And there's another thing traders do, I discovered, is they go out. I had this guy, I think T Banks, on my WhatsApp. I always follow. What am I doing? I'm not. That's wrong, because at the end of the day I was losing money. I was using his own analysis to judge mine, and whereas we don't trade the same trading strategy. So there's something they used to say: traders that start up and quit at the end of the day are traders that lose money. They wasted their time. So if you want to stick in this game, you want to be in the business of forex trading, you want to make sure that you are involved in the chart and see how you can practice. Like, where am I and God where, and all this kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing. And I bet you, if you're able to discipline yourself, discipline works along with strategy. Now let me quickly talk about risk management in this psychology and how it relates to yourself, that you're not cool with this risk. and what you're about to place as the risk in the trade, I would just say don't do it. Don't, just avoid it. Stay away from the market. Stay away from the market, because why, you are going to be messing up with your psychology, and this is all you have. And another thing is, if you keep losing and maximize your profit. Now this game is a game of higher win to losses. So the ability for you to understand that you want to make more money and risk low, it helps you. And don't go about thinking this thing that I'm not going to make loss. Why? This is a game of risk, and it's a high risk. We want to say that you're going to be right, or the higher wins to losses. That is the game. If you're not winning more than you lose, you're out of it. I told myself yesterday I placed a trade. I think odd USD, odd USD. I think it was USD Swiss francs. No, odd USD card, odd card. Sorry, odd card. So I placed the trade, and when guess what? I wasn't panicked. Like I wasn't panicked because I was losing 10 pips, but my target initially was 70 pips. So I had a 1 to 7 risk to reward ratio strategy. So had it been the market for me, I lost percent of that risk management strategies, kind of. So if you have a question and you want us to get attention to it, we'll be here to attend to you. So you need to understand another thing. Another thing you need to understand is Forex will always be there for you in the market. So you don't your psychology is messed up. Okay, I got to find out one thing, and that one thing I got to find out is the more you are involved in the chart, the more you're involved in strategy, the more you in your discipline you are, the more money you make. Now I got to understand one thing, that Forex actually started from the big firms and big boys in the market, big boys, the rich ventures and all the stuff. So I got to find out that it was about me. So I was like, whoa, what's going on? What about me? So that making money doesn't have to do with using your hands. Sometimes it starts with using your head. So if you're in Forex and you want to start using your hands to place trade, you're going to be wrong, because you have to start the process from your mind. You have to start the process from your head. Like I said, psychology is the scientific study of the mind. How your mind thinks. If you're in the chart, the only thing you're thinking of, you want to get money, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong, because why? Your psychology is wrong. One of my students, I think an interning student, he actually met me last week, and he was like, I would like to learn how to trade the Forex. I said, okay, fine, let's go on. When do you want to come on board? And he said, not now. I want to make sure that I have something else I'm doing. It's like, wow, I'm impressed. I'm going to wait for someone to get involved, but not really now. So I was like, okay, fine, it's fine by me. It's really fine by me. But the most important thing I would just say is make sure you have something doing. I'll repeat again, I'm just saying this emphasis again because I know how much I lost, and I know how much I don't want you guys to lose. Okay, I want to make sure you have something you're doing that keeps you profitable on the long run. Now, another thing I want to talk about is trading strategy. Let me quickly outline. I'm going to talk to you. Now, one of the strategy I said I was going to do was I was going to be waiting for the market to come to me in the 30 minutes before getting involved. So I did that analysis, and I got to find out that it was working for me. I found out that it was working for me, so I had to stick to it. I got to stay with it. I got to flow with it. But to come to my trend, at times that you're wrong, that they have something. That market is never the problem. You have to learn to love it. You have to learn to love it. It works with people. Can you do that when you're not there in the chat? So you want to be able to understand that the market works. Okay. I've written a book, and the book has to do with secret behind market structure. You also video that talks about